Hello everybody, I'm glad you could join me for another lesson with Miss Hoogland. What we're going to do today is this is a two-syllable vowel R or R controlled lesson today, story called The Beach Party. It's week number 3. We have 3 classifications or 3 groupings of R controlled vowels. Well, since we only have 5 vowels, we have one that has the pirate who says R, the O who says or, and then we have what I call 3 bears. Bears go so we have the ER of her, the IR of first, and the UR of nurse. Now this is a visual for you. So if I just put this here, we say the 3 bears. We go we go the pirate, me mateys, and we have the or, O, the other guy. All right, friends, let's get to our words for this story. All right, now I've gone ahead and written these words ahead of time just to save a little bit of time for you because I feel like you're catching on to these. So here we go. What you are looking for, remember you are looking for the bears, you are looking for the pirate, or you're looking for or. Okay, you have to know your vowels, A, E, I, O, and U. All right, the first thing we're gonna recognize is this list is composed of compound words, which means 2 words put together. It's also composed of base words that have either prefixes or suffixes on the end of them. So we need to make sure that we're aware of those as well. First thing that we're going to do is we are going to locate our vowels. Okay, so if I look at word number 1, and if you want, you can either pause the video right now so you can see this, and you can write the words down yourself and then mark them and see if you mark them correctly when we go over them, or you can just follow along. All right, in the first word, I see a prefix on. Okay, I see that prefix on. Here's my U right here, and then I have a UR right here, and it says Now I have to figure out where to split it at. I have a vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. So I'm going to split it right here. Now this is going to say the short U sound. And this UR, I tap and wrap, which means I tap the vowel. I see an R come right after it. I'm going to wrap that R and make it an R controlled vowel. So it only can say one of these 3 sounds. It's going to be unhurt, unheart, or unhort. And in this one, it's going to be ert. This is going to be the bear. Okay, good job. All right, and look at number 2. In number 2, we have a vowel right here, and it's going to say and then we have this right here, which it's the R controlled vowel, tap and wrap, which is going to say, is it going to say R, or? Okay, because it's a UR. So now we got to figure out how to do this. We got if we want this to say short U, we have to figure out how can we mark this, split the syllable, in order to make it a short vowel sound. Well, we know if we leave that U at the end of the syllable, that means that U is going to say its long vowel sound most of the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave the B on it, okay? So if I split it right here, it's going to be sub, and this is remember we said herbs, suburbs, okay? The next word we're dotting our vowels. Find a vowel right here. I see a vowel right here, but this is a ER, okay? And then I see that there's a vowel right here. Typically, PRO is a prefix that goes on a word. In this instance, it completely changes the word if you take it away. So in this one right here, it does not say what it's supposed to say. It is actually split right here, and it sounds like it would say verb, but it's not. This O is actually going to say an aw sound, and I'm not quite sure why it does that. I'm just letting you know that it says proverb, a proverb. A proverb is something like a little lesson that someone might give you in written. Look at this next word. So you got a vowel, vowel. They look like they're right beside each other. I'm going to question if they're going to work as a team. And then I see another vowel right here, but I see vowel R. So I'm going to circle that because I know that's either going to say R, or. Which one does it fit with? It fits with the And then this right here, I say two vowels go walking. The first one does the talking. If I do that, then the A is quiet. The E says its name. So then it would be heed first. Heed first. Well, that doesn't make sense. So now I'm going to try a short E sound instead. So that one didn't work. So now I'm going to go ed first. Head first. And that does work. And notice these are two different words, two separate words. Now, the reason, I can't tell you the reason why. I can just tell you that when you see an EA together and it's followed by a D, it can say that short vowel sound. Another instance of that would be the word bread. Okay, we can say this one right here is either read or read, depending on the context of your sentence. Okay, so these are a couple other instances where it says or E. Right, so this word is head first. The next word, I'm looking for my vowels. Oh, I think this is two separate words. I see another vowel right here, but I see an R right after it. I'm going to go ahead and circle that one. And then I got this one right here. I see that this looks like two separate words. So I see vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. So typically when we see that, we split right between the consonants. Now we have the word, this is open or closed. Remember, a closed syllable is when the vowel is, the syllable ends in a consonant, and that's what this one does. The syllable ends in a consonant, so it means it's a closed syllable, which means this U is going to say it's short U sound. Now, remember I always say you can't trust an N, so you need to just be flexible with it. If it doesn't sound right, you need to start being, try different sounds. So we got sun, we know that's a word. And then our second word is b, n, b, r, n, or b-orn. So is it sunburn, sunbarn, or sunborn? It is sunburn. Good job. All right, our next word, I have a vowel and I have another vowel. Those two vowels do not work together, so I know this has to be a two-syllable word. Every syllable must have a vowel or a vowel team. Now, I know that A at the beginning of a sentence a lot of times says that schwa sound. Oh, and I just messed that up. Trying to do an upside down E, schwa sound, okay, which makes the sound, okay. And then this right here I see is AR. Is it R, or? So this would be a jar, a jur, a jar, or a jor. Now, if I questioned where to split this at and I split it here instead, then it'd be udj-r, udj-r. The door was udj-r. No, it's a jar. The stress is more on the second syllable there. Jar. Okay, I hope that makes sense. The next word that we have a vowel. It's an A at the beginning again, so it might say Then we have, and we also know that AL, AU, or AW equals a short O sound sometimes. And then we have the AR right here. We're looking for ER, IR, UR, AR, or OR, and we have that AR right here. So now we have to decide how we're going to split this word. I know this is arm. It's either going to be all arm, or it's going to be alarm, A, because it's the first syllable and it says its name because it's an open syllable, but that doesn't sound right either. So now I'm going to make that first letter A at the beginning of the word say that schwa sound, which is the short U. And I have alarm. Alarm. Don't be alarmed. Okay. The next word, I am looking for my vowels. I see a vowel right here. See a vowel right here. I see that this is an R controlled vowel. And I see that this is a word that I know right here. Part. This, if I leave it right like this, this becomes D. Part. If you depart, that means that you leave. You leave where you are. And this is a prefix at the beginning. This one is actually saying depart. Depart. I know some people say depart, but it also is depart. All right, here we go. Oh boy, we got a vowel, and we got a vowel R. Now right here, I don't know of any combinations of UI that work as a chunk, or two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. I don't know of one where they work together, okay? If I am going to sound out this word, I'm going to go g, it, r, g, it, r. Well, that doesn't sound right. G, it, r, guitar, or g, tar, guitar. Is it a guitar? Is it a guitar? I think it is a guitar. So I'm saying the I right here, and I'm saying we do not hear this U sound right here. So even though this is two vowels together, it is not functioning as a team. It is not functioning as a team. You just do not hear that U. And I would actually have to look that one up to see if it's actually a guitar. Guitar. I think it's G, but it could be phonetics. G. Tar, or guitar. I think it's guitar. Next word. It's an awfully big word. I see a vowel E. What? A vowel E might be a two-syllable word or a compound word. I see the E can jump over one consonant to the vowel before it and make that one say its name. And then I have a G, then I have a U, A, and then I have a RD. Well, again, I don't know on the UA, so we're just going to treat this as an unknown one. So if I look at the first word, because I know that that's a word, life, we're going to count these, even though they're two vowels, we're going to count them together because the E works with the I to make it say its name. So we have a little life. You notice you do not hear this E. Don't hear the E, but it's making the I say its name. So life. And then we have g, ard. I see this AR right here. Guard. G. We don't hear the U. Life, g, ard. Lifeguard. So then we're going to split it right here. A lifeguard. The next word that we have is, I got a vowel right here. And I have a vowel right here. Now, why is a vowel anytime it's not at the beginning of a syllable? Anytime. So that's why I say most of the time Y is a vowel instead of some of the times, because there's very few words that start with the vowel or start with the Y. There are some, but for the most part, Y is typically a vowel. So on this one, I have the R right here. Okay, and then this I know is going to be a two-syllable word because there's two vowels, and the rule for Y is if it's at the second or more syllable, that Y is going to make the long E sound. It's going to make the long E sound. So this, and that's an always thing. I haven't run across anything that this does not work for, okay? So now I have to decide where to split this word at. Is it party or is it part E? Do you want to go to a part E or do you want to go to a party? I want to go to a party. But if you look at vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, that would tell us to split it right here. which would be party, party. Okay? And the last word that we have a vowel. And I have a vowel with an R. And I have an E. Okay? Now this one's a little tricky. We can either do, if we look at the E and we make the E say, go to the O and make the O say its name, then it would be O, 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 forward. No, that doesn't work. Okay, so we're going to say this guy's being quiet. Now we have to decide, is this word Beth, or is it going to be before? Hopefully you said it's going to be before. This E is going to say its long vowel sound because it's an open syllable, which means the syllable ends with a vowel, okay? Which means that vowel can say its name. So we have before. Sometimes this or up here is also represented by O-R-E or O-R. These are the two different ways that you'll see them. And the E is not telling the O to say its name. It just happens to be that way. Not sure why. It's just a matter of getting used to it, seeing it that way. All right, we're going to go to the stories, but if we look at the words real quick, we have unhurt, suburbs, proverb, head first, sunburn, ajar, alarm, depart, guitar, lifeguard, party, and before. All right, friends, here we go. You could kind of make a prediction on what this story is going to be about just by the words that we just read. Okay, so if I was thinking about this story, I see unhurt, sunburn, and lifeguard, which might mean we're going swimming somewhere. We might be going swimming at a party that might have a guitar at it, and we might have to leave or depart the suburbs or go back to the suburbs. You can jump into water head first. A proverb is a lesson, so maybe there's a lesson for us to learn in here. And a jar, I'm curious how the word ajar is going to fit in there. Okay, so here we go. We have a beach party, week number 3. And what we're going to do is we're just kind of look through these words. And remember, the R-controlled vowels that we're looking for in this were all 2-syllable words. So that doesn't mean that we won't see some 1-syllable words that have that same pattern. So we have the lifeguard was on duty at the beach. It was his job to see that people on the beach remained unhurt. One time he had gotten sunburned. It was a bad sunburn. Now, if I'm thinking about who got sunburned, who got sunburned on this one, do you know? It was the lifeguard. He did not want to get sunburned again. He now used sunblock every day. Here we go. Ready? One day, some folks who lived in the suburbs came to the beach. They dove head first into the ocean. The lifeguard did not see them put on any sunblock. This caused great alarm to the lifeguard. They would get a sunburn. They came out of the water to play their guitar. They sang and laughed and did not notice the lifeguard. He wanted them to be unhurt, but he was afraid the sun was too hot. He worried they would get sunburned. He just walked on the beach and watched the other swimmers. I'm going to circle this word right here real quick because we're going to have a question with this one. Later, the lifeguard saw their car door ajar, and he knew they were about to depart. He asked them if they had gotten sunburned. They said they were unhurt because they had put on some sunblock before they came to the beach. So there was no need for the lifeguard's alarm. The people went back to the suburbs, and the lifeguard dove head first into the surf for a swim. It had been a long day. Now I circled two words in here. I circled the word worried. If I go back here and I'm going to write that word, whoops, I'm going to write that word down, worried. Sorry, worried, W-O-R-R-I-E-D. Now here's the O-R right here. And here's an I-E-D. I know that E-D is a suffix at the end of the word. So I know that this word right here is going to be worry. But they're making it in the past tense form. So now they're dropping the Y and adding an I. And then put the E. They're substituting an I for the Y. And then they're adding an ED. That's not the reason why I really wanted to talk about. I really wanted to talk about it because this or, worried, does not make sense. Worried, so now I need to be flexible, and I know that is the most common one. So now I'm going to say worried, worried. That one makes a lot more sense. Then we have this word right here. We have I see this. But I also see this guy right here. Wa-e, if this guy's working, is wa-e-er. Wa-ear? No, that doesn't work. So this guy's being quiet. So now I'm going wa-er. Wa-er, were. They were about to depart. Yes, and that makes sense. And then there's one more word. Last word. T-H-E-R-E. Again, we have the same thing we had there. We have the two vowels. I see the ER right here. Is it there? This one right here actually says air. So this part right here, the whole ERE part is a heart part. Just need to remember that this ERE sometimes says air. Okay? Air. It's not there, okay? Not like this one right here was were. This one's air, there. Just a little clarification. Sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. For the most part, it does. So I read it very mechanically the first time because I wanted to make sure that you knew what all the words were as we were reading it. Now I'm going to push all the way to the period. So your goal is to read this first sentence like you mean it. You're reading it just like you're having a conversation with somebody. So here we go. The lifeguard was on duty at the beach. Notice I just put it all together. You could have just said the lifeguard was on duty. But in this story, they wanted to give you more detail. So where was the lifeguard on duty at? At the beach. This is a phrase, a prepositional phrase, and this gives you more information that describes about this story right here. So if we go to the next sentence, we're looking for the period. We're pushing all the way to the period. So it was his job to see that people on the beach remained unhurt. Okay, so now I want to make sure when I say attack the next sentence, sometimes we read this first sentence and then we have a big pause and then we go ahead and read the next sentence. I want you to notice the difference. I'm going to do it 2 different times. I'm going to do it with the pause the first time, and the second time I'm going to attack that next sentence. The lifeguard was on duty at the beach. It was his job to see that people on the beach remained unhurt. Now that one I had a big pause. Hopefully you noticed that pause right here. But this time I want to go ahead and acknowledge the period and then attack the next sentence. You can still do that. The lifeguard was on duty at the beach. It was his job to see that people on the beach remained unhurt. So notice I still I still paid attention to this beach part right here. My voice went down, and then as soon as I started this sentence right here, my voice went up. It was his job to see that people on the beach remained unhurt. One time he had gotten sunburned. Okay, I'm going to tag that sentence. One time he had gotten sunburned. It was a bad sunburn. He did not want to get sunburned again. He now used sunblock every day. Okay? Now, we're making one sentence, one line, unless we have a comma in it. Comma doesn't mean pause forever. It just means that we're giving information, additional information. We could take out this first part right here, the one day. Some folks who lived in the suburbs came to the beach. Well, when? One day, just a quick pause, one day, some folks who lived in the suburbs came to the beach. Notice how I kept that all rolling together. They dove headfirst into the ocean. The lifeguard did not see them put on any sunblock. This caused great alarm to the lifeguard. They would get a sunburn. They came out of the water to play their guitar. They sang and laughed and did not notice the lifeguard. He wanted them to be unhurt, but was afraid the sun was too hot. He worried they would get sunburned. He just walked on the beach and watched the other swimmers. Later, the lifeguard saw their car door ajar and knew they were about to depart. He asked them if they had gotten sunburned. They said they were unhurt because they had put on some sunblock before they came to the beach. Now that was a long sentence for us from right here to right here. Notice I pushed all the way through. They said they were unhurt because they had put on some sunblock before they came to the beach. Now this doesn't say sunscreen, it says sunblock, which is the same thing, but that's not what it says. So there was no need for the lifeguard's alarm. The people went back to the suburbs, and the lifeguard dove headfirst into the surf for a swim. It had been a long day. Nice job, my friends. Now, if you were to read this, hopefully you'd pause and try to practice reading it again. This will help you with your fluency. Now, putting these phrases together, this additional information at the beach. Remember, the lifeguard was on duty. That's a very simple sentence, okay? We want to give a little more information. The lifeguard was on duty at the beach, all right? It was his job, period. What was his job? It was his job to see that people on the beach remained unhurt. Notice how those additional phrases give you additional information. All right, I'm glad you joined Miss Hoogland for another lesson in R-controlled vowels, and I hope to see you next time. Have a great day.